Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to A Couple of Sassos podcast. I'm Brooklyn Johnson.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And for anyone who doesn't know, this is our power hour of true crime where we talk about fucked up people doing fucked up shit, usually for fucked up reasons or sometimes for no reasons at all.
That is accurate.
And today is the day that I came from work at the Joe Ford Nature Center, for anyone who's known to Kentucky. And it's been pouring and crazy, and it's supposed to be like just a big old pile of shit weather for the whole week.
Right.
I'm in my hiking shoes. I was like, I kind of look cute with this jacket on. I get in here, it's too hot. I didn't plan for this actual all black workout gear to be going. The fact that I have pimples on my face because I'm 38, it's been a journey.
Well, this actually comes out when you guys are listening to this is in December, like the second week of December.
Yeah.
And you know I love ugly Christmas clothes. So you said you were coming cash, and I was like, me too.
Not the same level of cash.
But I have on my buffalo plaid pajama pants, my leggings, and then my shirt that probably makes me look super thin because it's a sweatshirt. That says, ain't no laws when you're drinking with claws, and it's got Santa drinking a White Claw, and you just opened it.
And I have this thing to a seltzer water, not a White Claw. No, I'd rather be drinking a White Claw, right? Without a question.
I know. So are you one of these people that do you have certain standards for like when you can put up decorations, and do you get like really like you can't do certain things? Because people are like, I don't hear Christmas music until December, but this year Thanksgiving was later. So does that?
That's a great question. The answer is yes. I've been a psychopath since I was probably about 6.
Yeah.
And my mom was very, very serious about decorating, and so was my Mima. So I was trained by the Christmas elves. And my dad was really serious about like you have to do it at certain times.
Yeah.
And then Travis and Jay would give me a hard time all the time if I did it early. And honestly, here's the dill pickle. If the weather's vibing me right, because we live in a place where we have seasonal changes, then I'll do it. But like, I think they forget that I lived in Miami for so long that like every time I put up Halloween or Christmas decorations, I was sweating and getting sunburned.
Right.
So like that kind of washed me of my need for it to be like a certain temperature outside.
Right.
Did I decorate already? And today is actually November 18th. Yes, I have. I have decorated on the inside. Some now. My fucking chef's kiss of decor has not gone up yet because that's the explosive bomb of Christmas that hasn't happened. And we have not gotten our tree because we get real trees, and Travis is annoying about having to wait until Thanksgiving happens.
Well, it's cute because you guys make it a whole family thing when you guys will get your tree. So we said we might not even be able to put one up because of our new puppy. Who is still a puppy, and he's a husky, and he's a little shit, but he's awesome. So Nico, we don't know if he will leave it alone or not.
What I always did, and what we did with Spaghetti-O, and then I had cats in my previous life, if you like say fuck it and decorate the tree, but leave like 2 inches, like we would leave, that's not 2 inches. That's what a guy, that's like a guy 2 inches. Yeah, right? No, that's a guy 2 inches. Anyway. We would leave like probably maybe a whole foot then at the bottom part of the tree that the hats could get to. And like Betty, we decorated fully. We did not act like she was going to get into shit. And she really didn't.
Okay. Maybe we'll give it a go.
Yeah, I would rather shoot your shot. I just do it. And then like with love and respect, your Christmas ornaments are not, they're not your great-to-grandmother's homestead and are crystal made from pilgrims. Right. So you're going to be just fucking fine if they knock one over. And I'm pretty sure they're plastic.
Yeah.
So as long as shit ain't going to break and you ain't going to have to clean up fucking red stringy things out of dog poop, I think you're going to be fine.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I walked in here singing the NSYNC Merry Christmas song. Oh, she's putting her, why? You don't hear Merry Christmas. And then now it's in everyone's head. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I'm done. Unplug your ears.
You're a fucker.
Okay.
I'm not getting that stuck in my head longer.
So I found this story a couple weeks ago.
You didn't answer that question.
Oh, well,
do you have to do you decorate besides the Christmas tree?
A couple things that my grandma gave me, we put out around the house, but I don't go balls to the wall like Johnsonville, USA over there.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Terrytown is just a sprinkle of
Have you already
Christmas.
done it?
No.
Okay.
You know better than that. My
Yes?
my skeleton outside isn't even
You
done
haven't
yet.
done it yet.
And do you decorate? Oh, she
bit.
says just a little. Just a little.
Just a little. Me
I was
too.
expecting. Ugh, you're right. She
Yeah.
said I'm a single mom. I spend my money on presents. And I'm
Valid.
like, that, you know what? I believe that that's what they would want to.
Yeah, I did. We haven't even changed Skelly over yet to Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks. So.
Oh, I thought you already did that.
No, we didn't do it because I need Will's help, and Will wasn't in the mood, and now it's his birthday week, so I'm trying to do everything.
What do you have to do? Just get in the. What do you have to do?
Just come over and help me one day. you just take the things out, tilt it down, and then I change the clothes.
Okay. I didn't know if you like got a ladder out and did it
No, we lean it down 'cause
in
I
the
need to
heavens.
well, since it's 12 foot, we don't have a ladder that can get up that tall, and it's on a hill. Anyway, it's a long story. That's boring. But
Heard.
we might just say he gets decorated for Christmas, though. She does. Skelly does.
Wow.
Yeah, she has a.
Well, I'm
Santa
happy to
outfit.
know I don't have to spit on it for it not being decorated by the holiday time.
If I don't have a tree,
I just walk in there and hock a lugs right on it. Fuck your bullshit. Why is he not a pilgrim? And then, oh, never mind. I almost just fell down the rabbit hole of just like Thanksgiving.
Oh, here she
Like I said, a pilgrim. I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't even be saying that. Thanksgiving was really actually pretty terrible. But let's just call it a day to give thanks.
That's right.
Which is how we remarketed that branding campaign.
That's
God.
all she wrote.
Whatever
Okay.
we got to do.
I found this story when I was looking for Thanksgiving stories and decided to push it back a little bit because it is food adjacent. So my sources today.
No one needs to hear those.
Wikipedia, CBSnews.com. There's a 2022 article. KOIN.com, the Portland news station, Oxygen.com. They broke down the episode of the Dateline Secrets Uncovered because I refused to pay for it. And so thank you to Oxygen because I got to read and watch all the clips basically put together was the whole thing. So,
I couldn't hate that more than anything. Whenever you find an article that you're like, this could be great. It's like Pennsylvania news. Pennsylvania is obviously a highlight for me today. No reason. And you can't freaking read it. And you're like, don't you realize that people are doing research?
Right.
Like that this isn't, I don't live in Quakertown, PA, and I want to be a part of your newspaper series.
Right. Yeah, the episode they didn't have, but at least they had the breakdown so I could read through it, but I would much rather watch than read, but whatever. And then aetv.com. Okay.
So I had an itch.
I have a question for you. Do you, and people have asked us this several times because of our show. So do you honestly, truly think that you could get away with murdering your husband? Yes or no?
Oh, my husband specifically?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't think I could get away with murder in any capacity of anyone that I know.
Right. Same.
Or any
Like,
connection to anyone.
we always joke like in theory, blah, 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 but you're always going to miss something.
In theory, we have some tips and tricks
Yeah,
from what we've read. But outside of that, people do ask that all the time.
they do.
I'm like, do I think I could get away with a murder? Yes. Do I think I could get rid of a murder of someone who I'd actually want to murder? No.
Yeah. Okay. Today we're going to Portland, Oregon. Now, I've never been there. I heard it was a cool vibe. It's called the City of Roses. Fun fact, because it has the ideal climate.
I've been to Portland a lot.
You have?
Yeah.
Is it cool?
It's very cool.
Okay.
It's very like, Oregon's very like, keep Oregon weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So I think I would
I
like
feel like there were a lot of hairy people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hold on. Sorry. It's
That's
like
okay.
something in my throat. So I'm going to give some hard coughs. I just fillet a little skin right off there.
Water.
I have a fucking whatever. Okay. Oregon, weird.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I really wanted to go there because I think I would like it. So Daniel Craig Brophy, and it's spelled like trophy with a B, was born on June 27th, 1954 to Karen and Jack Brophy in Valley City, North Dakota. Now here's a picture of him. Look how sweet. This picture will make it.
He looks like somebody I'd watch a YouTube video on how to
Right.
roast a chicken.
This is this is one of his photos later. He's literally holding a rooster in a chef's outfit. So he was the oldest of three brothers. Since he was young, he was smart. He kept to himself and he was always learning. And his mom said that he rarely didn't have a book in his hand. So reminds me of somebody else I know. They joke that he was very handy, but spent most of the time looking for his tools rather than using them because he was a little bit unorganized. And that sounds like me. So except for I'm not handy. I just don't know where anything is. He loved gardening and cooking and definitely he would mushroom hunt too. Like people do that a lot here, but apparently he looked for truffles. That was his big to do.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Right.
Man, what I would do for some truffle. Shrooms.
Yeah. He went on to get a degree in marine biology, which I think a lot of people our age used to say that all the time, but I blame like Free Willy and Lisa Frank and all that. Because like I definitely wanted to be, I knew a lot of kids that wanted to be marine biologists. I didn't
My
know
my college roommate was a marine biologist.
See?
And then she did like nothing with it.
That's
I don't think, I could be wrong. She could have gotten into it later on in life.
I don't know. She's just a trainer at SeaWorld and you don't know.
No clue.
Well, that's funny that you say that because his passion for cooking never went away. So he eventually had a 40-year career path in the culinary arts. So he started as a dishwasher. He had a degree in marine biology, and then he started as a dishwasher, and then he got a job cooking at an overnight diner and went to culinary school and did all the things. So now at this school, his teachers were super strict and harsh, like think my boyfriend, Gordon Ramsay. So and the Oregon Culinary Institute opened in 2006, and he was hired as an instructor, and he had similar teaching styles, but everybody really liked him. He was very compassionate. He would take them to harvest vegetables on field trips. He would take them looking for truffles. He was a beekeeper, so he taught them about honey, like all the, he was harsh, but he cared and wanted them to actually like succeed.
No chef and no chef instructor is not harsh.
Right. That's what I've heard
That's the
too.
nature of the game. Because it's a hard thing that you have to do repetitively over and over and over and over and over again. And you have to like, I'm not at all shocked that he was harsh, if you will.
I would hear that too, but the students really liked him though.
So he couldn't have been too bad.
Yeah. Dan helped out anywhere he could in Portland, so he donated his time to shelters. He and his students would prepare meals for the homeless. He helped out at his church, and they would feed the homeless as well. And he even had a friend that worked in an assisted living facility, and he didn't want them to eat crap food, so his friend would write a menu, and then he would prepare the food to help him out when he could.
That's lovely.
I know. Well, he was teaching at the Le Cordon Bleu College for the culinary arts in Portland in the 1990s. He met a student named Nancy. Now, Dan was married at the time to Perla Stillwater, and they had a son, Nathaniel, together. But Nancy set her sights on him, and she told one of her friends, like, oh, his marriage won't last. And she was right. They got a divorce, Perla and Dan did, when Nathaniel was 13 years old, and he went to live with his mom, and they were a little estranged. So Dan and Nancy were just good friends, but when his divorce finalized, they became more than that. And from what I could tell, they did it the right way. Normally, we're like, just wait.
Right.
Like
keep your dick in your pants.
Right. Everything I read, they actually did. Shocker. And here is a picture of Dan and Nancy after they got together. She was actually 4 years older than him, but she went from student to friend to
banging
girlfriend
him.
To and they got
doing it
to doing the sex. That's what you always say, right?
Yeah, doing the sex. What year was this? I'm intrigued by the plateware.
This was,
oh my gosh, they had the chair that we all had.
Oh yeah, the round one.
Yep.
With the wooden chair. So they got married in 1997, so I'm assuming it was around then, that photo. They did not have any children together, but Nathaniel came back into Dan's life when he was about 21 years old, so they
good.
Yeah. Nancy got her culinary degree and actually opened up a catering company that had 25 employees, and Nathaniel actually worked for her for about 6 years.
Shit fire. 25 employees.
Yeah, so like they were doing pretty well.
They were humping and getting it. What?
Humping and getting it?
Yeah, that's what we say at home. We come home, we're like, man, I was humping and getting it. Those are them busy days.
I thought you meant like fucking and making money.
No, like working hard.
Yeah. Just a new way to say it. You always teach me phrases.
I have no idea if that's a phrase to be taught. I don't know. Travis says it. Maybe he says pumping and getting it.
Either way, it sounds like sex.
Pretty sure it's humping and getting it. I don't fucking know. My bad. That moment you regret to say.
Now, during this, she also opened up a sandwich shop with a $50,000 loan from Dan's parents. But as she got older, she couldn't keep up with all the physical parts of these jobs, so she had to pivot. I think she was about like 57-ish at this time. She began selling life insurance and began writing mystery romance novels.
That photo, was that like soon after they got married?
Yeah.
Okay. Automatically from their physicality, I would have assumed it would be hard standing on their feet like that.
Right.
Like, that's not even shit talking. That's
Right.
literally just like, it's hard to stand for a long time.
Right. Yeah. So with her romance writing, some of her stuff is actually still on Amazon, and she self-published it because she spent a lot of money and nobody would publish it. So she did.
How'd she spend a lot of money?
I'll get there. Yeah.
Okay.
She like self-publishing, going to
well,
seminars.
self-publishing, yes, but like
going to seminars, classes, trying to market her stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, how does it cost money to try to
Right.
get something besides you self-publishing? Like,
Right.
I fully understand that part.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought it was free to write and then submit your books to places. I thought that was free.
Right. Some of the titles that are still on Amazon include The Wrong Lover, The Wrong Brother, and Hell on the Heart, which all sound like country songs to me.
Yes.
Her bio on Amazon reads, quote, her stories are about pretty men and strong women, about families that don't always work, about the joy of finding love and the difficulty of making it stay. They had a house in Beaverton, Oregon.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pretty men and strong women.
That's right.
The fact that you're opening
was pretty men and strong women.
Yep. Automatically, I'm like, wow. Yeah, you'd have to pay me to read that one. You'd have to be, and like, not even a little bit. Depends on how many pages it is. You're like, and then if she described him poorly, I'd lose my shit. If you're popping off with your book description as pretty men and strong women, and I do not innately get turned on by the thought of that man and feel strong and powerful because of the writing of that character, of that woman, I'm going to be upset. Obviously, my expectations are extremely way too high in everything.
Oh,
sorry. That. Okay, I'll focus on now. I'm trying so hard to not pick up my phone.
Oh, you're a bookworm, so I get it. I get it. Okay. They had a house in Beaverton, Oregon, and they had some land, and they ended up living there for over 20 years. People rarely saw them argue. It looked like the perfect marriage. Now, Dan would wake up, right? Dan would wake up early each morning, walk their dog to Starbucks, and buy her a Starbucks coffee every day, by the way.
I hope they were very financially secure.
Feed the chickens, and then he would head to the Oregon Culinary Institute to go to work. Now, Nancy would sell insurance and work on her novels at home. They were planning to retire soon and downsize because, they were like, we're getting up there in age. Let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah, let's put a bow on it and get it on the porch. I'm fucking done.
Right. And they had actually were working on downsizing. They were planning to sell their house. So, okay, June 22nd, 2018.
Woo! Okay.
2018.
97, 07, 17. Thinking of how long they've been married now.
A while. Yes. Over 20 years. Yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't remember what year I said. So, okay. June 22nd, 2018, 8:24 a.m., students started coming into OCI for their classes, but the door was locked, which is weird because that's the door they always use. So a teacher heard them outside and let them in a side door. Kalinda Perez was a student there, and she went to her first classroom to fill up her water bottle, and she saw the cooler was empty, and she's like, that's weird. There's no coffee either, because Dan normally gets there early and does that for everybody because he's
perfect.
Yeah. She goes to another room. The lights are on. The sink water was running on full blast, and she sees Dan lying on the floor on his back in front of the sink. She yells to call 911. She starts to give Dan CPR, and then she realized that he's bleeding from his chest.
Oh, shit.
Because when she started doing it came through. So 8:27, EMTs show up, and when they moved Dan's arm, a shell casing from a bullet rolled out from underneath it. So he had been shot. So they put OCI on lockdown because students were asked to sit in their student area with their hands on the tables because they didn't know who or what. And they had to clear the whole building. So at this point, the door was locked, and they still didn't know who did it. And sadly, 64-year-old Dan Brophy didn't make it, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. And he had been shot in the back and the chest. In his pockets that were...
In the back and the chest?
Mm-hmm. So they think
they shot him in the back and then he turned around.
And when he fell, they went up over him.
Motherfucker.
I know. In his pockets, they found his wallet, credit cards, his truck keys, his watch, his phone, and some cash. So not a robbery.
He had his watch in his pocket?
Well, on his person.
I was like, suspect. That's a clue.
She's already trying to figure out.
I'm like, why did he take his watch off and put it in his pocket? And then I'm over here like, if it was an Apple Watch, it would make sense. You got to get them bitches off you sometimes, right?
Right.
Don't they feel like they just suffocate you? Look at that. I can't even have it on me right now. I can't even deal. Just the thought of it.
Fancy free.
Okay. Got it. So all of his items were on him.
No robbery. That's
no
it.
robbery.
Yes. He had been shot in the back when he was filling up the water coolers for the students. And then he fell. And then someone walked over, stood over him, and shot him in the chest and left. So like who and why, right? They quickly ruled out all the students, but learned there were transients that frequented the area and sometimes caused problems because the school wasn't in the best neighborhood. Now, there was a man earlier that had been seen collecting cans, but like if he was doing that for money and he had a gun that he shot someone with, wouldn't he sell the gun? Or like...
That's called protection.
Yeah.
But if you were struggling... No, like, I totally hear what you're saying. If you were struggling financially... Yes, but if I was living on the streets, the very last thing I would do is get rid of my weapon.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd be able to afford said weapon. Who fucking knows?
Or take his... He still had all of his cash. Like...
Yeah.
You know? So
it does not seem like it is not a robbery gone wrong.
Yeah.
100%. No question on that.
Yeah.
This was like an execution.
Right. And then one student had seen a roll-up door that was for loading in supplies that was open. It was open. It was open.
I didn't even know where you were going. My brain didn't even like fill in the gap. I was like, Orkin man. Orvin. Orvis.
They saw a flower. No, it's an orchid. No, they saw the roll-up door open.
Got it.
Open.
Heard.
Which was not normal because if that was open, then there would normally be somebody there. So it was just wide open. So if Dan had got in that way and someone followed him, he would have known. The school was really large and you had to know your way around to even find out where the hell he was when he was doing that. So what the fuck? And at 10 a.m., one of Dan's friends called Nancy and said someone was shot at OCI. And Nancy said, well, I might go up there to check. At 10:16.
I might go up there to check?
Mm-hmm. At 10:16 a.m.
Somebody was like, there was a shooting at WBKR. You work from home and I'm showing up.
Right. Yeah, I might go.
Did she come in for that meeting?
Right. At 10:16, Nancy called Dan's mom, Karen, and she said something was happening up there. His mom was like, well, are you going to go up there? And she said, no, there's going to be too many cops and people up there. And then she hangs up. And his mom tells the dad. And the dad's like, what the? Call her back. And so she calls back and she's like, bitch, get up there. So at 10:28, she shows up. The cops brought her into one of their command posts. And I think it was like a van over there, something to take her away from everything to talk to her. Now, one thing you learn about Nancy, she's a talker. She's an over-explainer. And she words things in probably the worst ways. She's a writer, which makes no sense to me. But when she speaks... she could give you a 1-sentence answer and she'll talk for 20 minutes.
Did anyone say the book?
Woo!
So no one said the books were good. So like she was a shitty writer.
I don't know. One podcast I was listening to this morning, because I always just listen to other stuff like after I was done. And I heard the girl and she was like, well, I read part of one. And she's like, it wasn't terrible, but it just sounded like every other romance.
That's what I was saying. I was like, sometimes it's not the writer, it's the storyline or the time it was written. Right. But that's why I was curious. I was like, writers, I could also see her being weird. Like just in the case that like you were only able to communicate best with words upon the pages. You know, like maybe that's your vibe.
Right.
So I'm trying to understand her. Chef, romantic writer, all these things.
Right. They interviewed Nancy at 10:47 to see what happened in the morning before Dan got there. She said Dan's morning was normal, his normal routine. He woke up at 4:30 a.m., walked the dog, fed the chickens, and they showered and left at 7. Now, she goes on and on and on, and I've watched some of this on YouTube. It is fucking painful.
You're going to have to cut to Heather as I chew my thumbnail off. Sorry.
So he showered and left, and she keeps going on and on and on about the shower door. Like, he normally showers upstairs, and then he had to shower downstairs because the shower door shattered down there, and there was a guy that came to fix it, but then he didn't fix it. And they're like, what are you talking about?
He showered.
Like, he showered in a different spot, and she was telling him about how he had to go get stitches because he cut himself on the gun. They were like, what? Shut up. Yeah, it's so weird.
I would totally think that she was guilty from that 100%.
Just like, what are you talking about? After 7 minutes of being questioned, they broke the news to her that Dan had passed away and had been killed.
Whoa. So whoa, buddies.
Mm-hmm. They waited 7 minutes because she wouldn't shut the fuck up too, but they wanted to see what.
How did she not say the second she was there, like, Dan's okay, right? Like, Dan's okay. That would be my first question is like, my boo bear's fine, right? Where is he? I'm not sitting here for you to talk to me until I see him.
Exactly right. Now, on the flip side, even though I agree with you 122%, a few people are like, well, everyone grieves different. Everyone has different reactions to trauma. I understand that,
but there's no trauma. There's no trauma.
Right.
See, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But she didn't know.
I know, right?
So there's no trauma to be processing. She's not in shock. She showed up because she heard there was a shooting at a school where why in the fucking world would you think it was your husband?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're supposed to show up because of fear, yes. But 1 out of 2,000 people that are in that school in a day, why would you ever think it was your main man? You know?
Exactly. Especially like no reason.
So if they would have been like, hey, just come talk to us here, I'd be like, yeah, cool. Yeah. Let's talk about where my husband is. I need to lay my eyes on him. And then I'll tell you. And then I have nothing to do with this, obviously, because you're telling me it was Sarah, the chef student in the second year West Wing, was shot. I don't know who the fuck she is. Like, you would meet, it would be irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny that you mention it. Because after they told her, she said, quote, yeah, I kind of got that when everybody gave me the sad sack look. That was her response. Yep. She's like, what happened? What? They said, she goes, well, what happened? And they said he'd been shot. And she says, quote, with an AR-15, those guns are used in school shootings now.
Did she know the gun yet?
No. No. Okay.
Okay. So, I just feel like sometimes people don't try. I just feel like people don't try. And I'm so sick of half-assed jobs. Right? This woman did not. Oh. She goes, I'm going to do it and maybe do 3 things that make it a little long. It take a little bit of time for the cops to figure it out. But I'm going to be so suspect the second I arrive. No wonder she didn't want to go.
Right.
She was like, I'm a shitty liar.
Just wait, because this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is going to be one of those flip a table stories.
I'm going to try. Okay, I promise to be quiet after this. But if she's an author, it means that she has, like, now I'm offended by authors and I'm offended for chefs and I'm offended for wives all around.
Right.
But if you're going to tell me that you're an author who has to think through these things in such it's like being a screenwriter and not being able to come up with a conclusion correctly. Like, come on.
Yeah. And okay, so because she overtalks, before they even told her that he had been shot and killed, she said she offered up without them asking that she owned a Glock 17 and a 9mm Glock 17, and said that she would gladly give it to them. And this is before they even said anything about guns. She just tells them this.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah. So she said after another school shooting recently, they decided, since they were against guns and just owning them themselves, they decided to buy one for protection. And before this, they hadn't been gun people at all. She also said she had never handled it, didn't want to handle it, didn't want anything to do with it.
So because of school shootings,
that's what she said,
they bought a gun that they kept at home?
In their 60s, and they have no kids. So why are they at schools? I mean, he was at a.
That's what I'm saying. If he wasn't bringing it to work. So
yeah, I know.
I don't understand.
Me too.
So stupid. I hate stupid.
And she also never once asked if Dan was okay before they told her, like you said, like at all. So 68-year-old Nancy is looking pretty sketch. She's 68. I have to remind you, she's 68. He was 64.
Sad sack.
Right.
Everyone giving me all those sad sack looks.
Right. Now she breaks down and asks, like, she finally breaks down after a few minutes and she says, quote, what am I going to do without him? She also said, I don't care who shot Dan. I just want him back. And I'm going to ask you a question. If someone shot your husband.
I'm killing them.
Like, if someone shoots your husband out of literally left field nowhere, I'm not going to be like, well, of course you want him back, right? But, like, I want to know who the fuck did it.
Oh, no. I will not stop until
Right.
they die.
I will Liam Nielsen them.
That is what I'm saying.
Somebody's getting taken.
Yes. Something has happened. I'm going to show you a book. I'm going to do some crazy shit. I'm probably going to do some time in jail.
Right.
But I'm going to do it with a lot of fanfare and a lot of fan letters afterwards. And you're going to be probably near me.
Oh, right.
But fuck that. You'll get way less for an accomplice, but it's still fine. Yeah. But no, I wouldn't stop. And the first thing I would want to know is who did it.
Right.
And then I'd say get them protection.
Right. And not, I just want to, I don't care who did it. You would care.
It's not a kidnapper
like
with a ransom.
Yeah.
I don't care about it. Just let me have my kid back.
Right. So at 11:39 a.m., she was so distraught that she got in a cop car and they offered to escort her home. So a cop drove her home and another police officer drove her van home for her. Before they left, they went in, got the Glock that she offered him, and then he took pictures of the van because his supervisor had called him and asked him to take pictures of her van. While there weren't security cameras at the school, there was a pizza place near OCI and had them. So here's the timeline. 7:08 a.m., a gray van that looks a lot like Nancy's drove by the pizza place. 7:20, Dan's truck goes by. 7:22, Dan disables the alarm to go in the school. 7:28 a.m., a gray van is heading away.
This sounds like the easiest crime to ever. I hope it's all rookie cops, man.
Right. When they looked at the photos of her van, they noticed a scrape on the side with like rust on it, aka it was her fucking van. Like there's a lot of gray vans, but not with gray rust scraped down the side and even a church sticker. Like, cause they got the they got the van from her in-laws, from Dan's parents. And they had a Baptist church sticker on the front so they could park in the church parking lot. So like, hello.
Yeah. This is sounding awfully easy to figure out.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's why I was like, you're going to
I don't love it. I hate it. I like whatever.
Yeah.
But I've been working on listening to our episodes and I'm trying not to be so psychotic.
Oh.
So I'll be more chill.
Well, this one will probably get you pretty riled up because the whole time you're going to be like, what? Why? So they got the Glock from her and it was in a grocery bag and then there was a case in it with the receipt for purchase. It was zip tied down the barrel. And then the slide wasn't in alignment, which is odd because of the zip tie was on it. And for people like me who had to learn about this during this episode, if you don't know about guns, that basically means it could have been used and or disassembled because the slide wasn't in the right spot because of the zip tie. Like it was farther up and it should have been pushed back, is what they said.
And there was a zip tie around it?
Zip tie down it. Like she had bought it that way, like at a gun show.
Right, and never...
Keep that in mind. Yeah, I don't get it. So
then they hold up.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that this is clear. They're saying that the gun that they found is essentially in its packaging, if you will. So it's never been opened, never been used.
That's what she said.
If there's a zip tie around it, like it was bought from a store, are you going to say that that's not a zip tie from a store?
That
or
I don't.
Okay.
Basically, the officer on duty was a very avid gun person, and he was like, it could have been used and or disassembled, then zip tied back, is what they're getting at. Like she had clipped it, re-zipped it, allegedly.
Because there's no reason for a zip tie to be on a gun like that,
unless it was purchased at a gun show like that and it was required.
Right, is what I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So if everything else was they weren't gun people, yada, yada, yada. So you're telling me that you have your gun in a way that cannot be functionally used in time of an attack. And it appears that it hasn't been used.
Right.
Which when you buy a gun, the first thing you should probably do is learn how to use it.
Yeah.
And take it out of its packaging is what I'm calling.
The officer there was like,
no one does that, Heather.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
Zip ties a gun like that.
Right.
So no matter what the fuck on the how.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a thing that a gun user does.
Right.
Because it's not even like no one does that. That means they'd have to go find scissors or a strong knife to cut it and then get it into a way that you could then use it.
Mm-hmm.
If you were scared that someone was going to use the gun, then you would keep the magazine out of it,
right,
and no gun and no bullet in the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just that is
there's a lot of gun stuff in this, which is why I picked it, because you know a lot about that stuff.
But that just makes no sense.
Right. And
no sense.
My thought on that was, she said school shootings. Well, Dan was the only one who went to a school, and there's knives everywhere in that friggin' place, for one. But like, if he was not worried about it, he would take it with him, in my opinion.
Right.
So it's zip tied in your closet, but it was for protection.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It was never meant to be used.
So,
she wanted it to look like it hadn't been used.
Right.
So that whenever she offered up that gun, they would take it and be like, oh, it's so obvious it hasn't been used. That was her reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
But what she didn't stop to fucking think of is, if a real person bought the gun,
right,
that would have been the first thing they would have cut. Right. And they would have never known how to put that back around it in that weird ass way.
Right.
Like no one does that.
Right.
If you do that, or you have done that, or your great grandmother has fucking done that, comment and tell me that I say POS, piece of shit. You were wrong. I look forward to POS, but I want to know who did it. Was it your uncle? And did he have a drinking problem?
It's like, I bet I could zip tie this. Watch me.
Right? Or I got a zip tie so I don't get into that weird little shooting spree that I do when I have too much fucking whiskey on a Thursday. I have no understanding why. Now I'm going to go home and ask Trav, and he's going to be like, oh, yeah, sometimes you do that too. And I'm going to be like, the fuck?
20 comments on our YouTube. POS.
Right? I just I'm grabbing my phone. I'm going to chat GPT something real quick, because now I'm going to die from this fact.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep going while you do that, okay? Okay, so listen to this. The door code logs at the school showed that no one was in there prior to Dan or the night before. So after they locked it and set the alarm, no one had gone in before him. So he was the first one. A few days after her husband was shot and killed, Nancy calls detectives on her own free will and is like, hey, can you write me a letter saying I'm no longer a suspect in this murder so I can give it to the life insurance company? And they're like, why are you asking that? They haven't even, this was only like 2 days after, and they were still ruling everything out, even though everything pointed to her.
Right.
These cops and detectives did a great job and did their due diligence and wanted to rule out every single student, employee, transient,
right,
every other avenue before
they like dug into her.
Yeah. So
pause.
Okay.
These are a few common reasons someone might zip tie a gun, and they're all about safety, compliance, or visual indication. Safety mechanism for transport or storage, once more kind of buying it, or you're about to drive through a state that you're not allowed to have a gun. So then still hide it, and you're probably going to get a felony anyway. Gun shows and firearm stores, which was my number one thought, was it was a just bought gun.
Mm-hmm.
3, law enforcement, evidence handling. Police sometimes zip tie a gun like that. Police do it. And that's so that you can obviously tell that you can't get shot by the gun. Classroom or training use. Once more to lock it. And of course, then they go into like, that's not a long-term way to not.
Right.
To keep a gun safe. But okay. So to me, whenever I said it was not out of its packaging, like it's a fucking weird Glade plug-in that you have to like rip out of a plastic box shit.
Christmas in the 90s when you had to undo all the the backing on the toys. Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I had thought. I was like, it's still in the product packaging state from when it was bought.
Yeah. And but one thing to keep in mind and just remember is that the barrel slide and barrel, that's what it's called, was out of place.
Right, but you would put it out of place so that it cannot, like, there's no way it couldn't be out of place.
Yeah, well, the cop said, just keep this in mind, the cop said that it should be pushed back and it was pushed forward. So it looked like someone had messed with it and didn't know what they were doing. That's what I'm getting at. Pinning that. Okay.
Right. Okay, real quick. Explain it. Sorry, I'm going to have you explain it. Where was it at? If this was the gun, but that's the gun.
And this is the church, and these are the people.
Yeah. So tell me where it was.
I don't even know what it
wrapped around the front, or was it wrapped around this way?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm just like, it's still in my mind. I'm like,
Basically, it was tampered with, and it looked like it had came from the shop and hadn't been used.
so you're
Bottom
agreeing
line.
with me is what I've been saying this whole time.
Well, someone had tried to tamper with it and wasn't
There's no
successful.
tampering though. You just cut the zip ties off and it's your gun. You own it.
Well, it looked like it had been disassembled somehow or attempted to be disassembled. Does that make
You
sense?
can't disassemble it with a zip tie because it can't even be. Okay. I'm going to let this point drop for the sake of the integrity of this fucking episode. But I'm going to I can't comprehend how a zip tied gun like that could have been. Yes, she could have pushed it wrong on the thing, but that's the max she could have done.
Yeah.
Is like somehow push it forward incorrectly, like an idiot. But wouldn't matter. It's still the main point of this is that it was not out of its.
Hadn't been used.
Yes, it had not been used.
Right.
Okay, I'm done now.
Wonderboy Media is not only the proud producer of this glorious magic imploring your ear holes right now, but they're also a big deal.
Get in touch with them today to make all of your dreams a freaking reality.
From using their bangin' ass podcast studio,
where we are right now,
to creating amazing videos and editing our content like the mystical mavericks they are.
Your podcast can go further when you have a Wonder Boy.
Hit up Drew today at WBOYmedia.com.
Or text him day or night at 270.
Just kidding.
Does your face look like a mugshot lately?
Then it is officially time for you to visit Hetef Aesthetics in Owensboro, Kentucky or Nashville, Tennessee.
That's right. Go see our girl Amber Teasley and her team because they'll have your face and your skin look like a damn filter.
And their staff is absolutely amazing. It's like a mini Botox party, which personally is my favorite. You leave looking fresher and you don't have a hangover.
Another good thing is that if you go in there and you tell them that a couple of sassholes sent you, you get 15% off of everything.
That's unbelievable. So if you have been considering getting that glow up and making that ex jealous, it's time.
Okay, so like I said, a few days after, 2 days after, she calls the cops. She's like, "Can you write me a letter?" They're like, "No one has ever asked us. What are you talking about?" And she said, because they don't want to pay if they find out that I secretly went down to the school and shot my husband. And they were still ruling everyone else out. And she calls the detectives and says that to them. And they're like, idiots.
She's like, I need a letter from the cops to tell my insurance that I didn't murder my husband.
Right.
And it's been like 48 hours and all the signs point to it being me.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. When this shit happens, they should be running fucking tests on these people for their IQ. Like how she ran a business and was a caterer.
And then sold life insurance.
Anyone can sell life insurance.
The detective.
I'm kidding, I have no idea.
The detective was like, I've never once heard of this at all. And she's like, quote, "Oh, I can't believe they're making me jump through hoops like this. It's only $40,000. We aren't insured for millions." Now, the cops did their due diligence, like I said, and ruled out everyone. So, like, Nancy's van, she's acting like a fucking weirdo. So she might as well just walk in there and be like, "Put the cuffs on me."
She should have literally shot him and then called 911 and was like, I shot him.
Yes. Right. Nancy went on to try to sell their house shortly after and collect on the policies. Now, she also filed a workers' comp claim, and because he was killed at work. And so all of this totaled was $1.5 million, by the way.
Okay.
So on September 5th, 2018, Nancy was arrested for Dan's murder, and they searched the home and their storage unit that they had. In the home, they found 2 laptops that were Nancy's. At the house, one was in the closet and one was by the bed. At the storage unit, there was a box labeled scarves, purses, and GK, which apparently stands for Ghost Gun Kit. For those not to know, like me until today, Ghost Gun Kit is basically not registered or trackable, and sometimes it's even 3D printed. So this kit was for a Glock, which is the same gun that she owned. On her laptop, she had searched for gun ghost kits in 2017. December 24th, 2017, the gun ghost kit was purchased on eBay. In January of 2018,
she was able to buy an untraceable gun on eBay. I just want to make sure, because I've never heard of a ghost gun kit either.
Yep.
Because I'm also not doing nefarious things. So, not even the dark web
Nope. She just went
Just
to
the
all
eBay?
eBay. She went to all eBay. Yep.
This bitch. This bitch.
Oh, you're gonna. This is what. Yeah.
This is tantalizing. Carry on.
I was like, this is a bitch the whole time. You're gonna be like,
Oh
oh
my
my
God.
God. Yeah. So it's been a minute since I've made you want to flip the table. So I had to.
I'm actually peaceful.
Yeah.
I'm peaceful because it's one thing when they think they're being smart. When I get really, really mad is you're like, she was too smart for her own good. I'm like, she's made 14,000 mistakes. This one, I'm like, oh, this bitch.
Didn't say anything.
She wasn't even trying to get away with it.
Right. Okay. In January 2018, she had searches for, quote, kickback with Glock, gun safety classes, gun shops in Portland, how much does a Glock 17 cost, Glock slide for sale, and all kinds of shit. And this was a month before. So, February 17th, 2018, she bought a Glock 17 at a gun show. February 19th, she created an eBay account, and 4 days later, she bought a slide and barrel for a Glock 17 on there. Now, it was delivered on February 28th. This is a part of the gun that I didn't know that. The slide and barrel is a part of the gun that makes some markings on the bullets. So, like, they trace, that's how you can, in murder cases, you know, on forensic files, when they show the bullet comparisons.
So did she swap the barrels? Oh my God, she's actually smarter. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I wish I would have not gotten so caught up. Okay, I'm going to shut the fuck up. I'm so ready.
Okay, so she, yeah. Yeah, but that's what it causes unique markings.
The ballistics, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't think of that fucking word.
Yes,
Way
so
to go.
the barrel and what was the other thing?
The slide and barrel.
Yeah, are the two things that will make a mark whenever you shoot the gun out that will then be able to tell you that it's that from that gun.
Cool.
I never would have. What a fucking thought. I didn't even think that. Okay.
Right?
Okay, carry on.
Okay, so AKA she swapped those out but left her online trail. Like literally made an eBay account in her own name and bought that and searched all that shit on her laptop.
So we're saying that there's the part of the gun, she has a registered one. She bought a ghost kit that's like an illegal gun that's untraceable. She took the top of that gun and put it on her gun and then shot. Or was it vice versa? Because if she had a ghost gun, then she never needed to take the top off.
You always need to take your top off.
Right.
No,
right,
okay.
Right.
She, so basically she bought what they think happened, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but what they think happened, she bought the gun, was like, fuck, they could trace this because she did all that fucking research online.
And she didn't do it before she bought it?
Right. Well, she tried to, but then she buys it, right? Then she gets the ghost gun kit. Well, I don't think she could have figured out how to do that. So she actually bought, like the slide was like the kit was for a Glock 19 or something. So it's slightly different. So then she buys the actual slide and barrel, like just the barrel of another gun for that gun. Okay.
So the ghost kit makes the gun untraceable. It's not an untraceable gun.
No, it is an untraceable gun, but she didn't use that gun for some fucking reason.
Why? Oh my God.
They think she used that gun and swapped the barrels out on the ghost gun. They think she took,
but it
would have
made
her gun
so
there,
much.
thinking in the closet, like it wasn't, because it was. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That one was their safety gun, even though it was fucking.
But that's what I'm saying. She
bag.
didn't know about the ghost one. It wouldn't have mattered. She
Yeah.
could have used that one, had it on her,
Mhm.
and they wouldn't have searched it. And the other,
Yep.
all she was tamper with the gun and make it look more suspicious.
Yeah, and then she tells them about.
And
the
so
gun
she's
before
saying
they
she
asked.
used that gun.
I'm gonna keep going, but.
Sorry, but which gun did she use to kill her husband with?
They couldn't figure out which one was which. They think the ghost gun had a different barrel on it. They never found this. I'm telling you ahead of time. That's why I'm like, I'll get there. But
Okay.
they never.
So they're still thinking it was the ghost gun. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And then she was distracting them with the other one.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And because
So
they
what we
didn't-
originally thought.
right
Back to what we originally thought.
right, but they didn't find that ghost gun kit. It said just GK, but she told them she had the Glock at home. She was like, before they even asked her. And then this one they found on their own in a box with scars and purses on the bottom.
Right.
But she wrote GK on it. They're like, what the fuck? And why would it say all that and you abbreviate? She's like, well, I just shorthanded it in case so the cops could figure out where it was. And they're like, what? But you told us you had this gun. She's like, oh, I just forgot about it. Okay. Anyway. So also, I didn't mention that she had a blog online in 2011, and Dan was shot in 2018, right?
I'm listening.
Okay. This is like where the bomb dropped. So in 2011, she wrote a blog post that was called How to Murder Your Husband.
This is not where the ball dropped.
I mean, but they all said, like, all the headlines ran with this part too. But
okay. We had what a ghost gun kit was completely wrong.
Okay, what is it?
So it typically includes an unfinished frame or a receiver, often called an 80% lower. So the base part of the gun, the bottom part. And then you have to buy the other part.
Got it.
So that would make it, because it's not a registered gun if you're just buying the other part of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Which would make it a gun that's
still
not
untraceable.
Yes.
Right. Okay, cool.
You're basically building your own gun.
Yeah. They could trace it to the other the slide and barrel thing that
right.
she bought, but
not the 80% lower.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Hold on 1 second. Give me 4 seconds. It has no serial number. It is untraceable, hence the name ghost gun. And yes, in most cases, it's heavily restricted or illegal to buy.
Yeah.
So when she said she put the whole reason I wanted to look was because when she put GK on that and she said she wanted the cops to be able to understand what it was, it's illegal in itself, most likely.
Right. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about it being illegal.
That's why.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow. This is tips and tricks. I feel like I am learning. Okay. Let's go.
Okay, so she wrote the blog post in 2011 called How to Murder Your Husband. That was the title. In it, she literally writes how. She wrote reasons why. She even has one section called Options to Consider, like guns, poison, all of this. The last sentence in this, and I want you to remember this, says, quote, I find it easier to wish people dead than to actually kill them. But the thing I know about murder is that every one of us has it in him or herself when pushed far enough. On April 4th, 2022, 71-year-old Nancy Brophy, after COVID delays and all that stuff, she finally goes to trial. Now, the judge, which I want your opinion on this, the judge actually ruled that they couldn't use that blog post they said it was too biased in the trial. Honestly, if you look at they didn't really need it. But that's
probably why they gave it up. I'm going to, what you just said.
The judge was like, no, it's too biased. And the prosecutor's like, I mean, that sucks,
it's evidence,
but whatever. But if you think about it, there's been like rappers and stuff that had their songs used against them from a million years ago. Yeah. So it's just kind of weird. But
I think my opinion on that is you're like, I want to know your opinion, steamroll you. I'm not going to. No, I've been so annoying about trying to understand this gun situation. So I understand you can steamroll me, but I need to know.
Right.
Okay. So I believe that the reason they didn't fight harder on it, I think it's a complete pile of bullshit. I think the defense was doing whatever the fuck they could.
Yeah.
And they filed that. And I think exactly what you said. They were like, we have enough evidence. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But saying that that's biased, are you fucking me right now?
No.
Are you fucking me right now?
They gave a really long list of why they thought it was biased, but I'm like,
if you wrote a blog post about murdering somebody and then you murdered them, that's not bias. That's called a journal entry.
Right. That was my thought too.
That's fucking narrating your fucking book, bitch.
Right.
Golly.
Okay. And here's the thing. I need you guys, you and you, everyone, to please look up clips of this trial. Nancy takes the stand.
Oh,
and she talked her head. I couldn't even watch all of it. Like you couldn't get her to shut up. Like, okay, so when prosecutors they're like, okay, let's start this off, Nancy, and I'm going to show you a picture of what Nancy looks like on the trial because she's 71 years old at this point. There's Nancy on the stand. She was 71, and
she looks like a fucking history teacher.
And she has headphones in because they were hearing, like, to help her hear. So, like, her hearing was even going up. Like,
she looks like that teacher that you really didn't like, right. Or like that neighbor that you were afraid to throw a ball in their yard.
Oh, 100%. That's spot on. So they get up there and they're like, "Hey, Nance, like, what's up with all the Google searches?" She's like, "Oh, I was researching for my book." And they're like, "Ah." And she also brings up her blog posts,
like us with our podcast. Excuse me, officer. I was researching for my podcast.
Right?
How hard it is to bury somebody in the December frozen ground in Zone 6A, Kentucky.
Right. I know. So Nancy, because she's an overtalker, she brought up her blog posts. So they couldn't mention it directly. They could say it without saying it because she started talking about it.
Oh.
Not the particular one, but her blog in general, which opened the door for them to be able to ask her questions about it.
Do you know what her blog was about?
It's just random. The only one I read parts of was
that one?
Yeah.
I'm just curious what the fuck this bitch was writing about. Was it like delicious chicken and dumpling recipes?
Oh, no. She looks like she would write chicken and dumpling recipes. But no, she writes blogs like about pretty men and how to murder
And
her
strong-
husband.
and strong women.
Pretty men and strong women. What the fuck? Okay. The trial lasted 27 days, and the prosecutor said the motive was money. And Nancy wanted to get out, like she would get out of without Dan. So she also, I heard this morning, because, Candace DeLong, our girl, I listened to her podcast when I was in the shower.
The queen.
Right. And she was talking about, she had found a lot of stuff that I didn't find. So that's why I'm like, she said it. I'm assuming she said it.
Yes, if she knows it's true.
Wondery paid for her. So I'm sure her research team is bigger than ours. So... and actually existent.
Yes.
So she said that Nancy had, after retired, she wanted to move to Portugal for some fucking reason, like to write and do all these things. And Dan was like, I kind of like it here, dude. Like, well, I just want to downsize and, but I don't.
But isn't that where Hannah went? Because it's way cheaper than the U.S.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she was,
my first thought, though, is I mean, it's way cheaper.
Yeah. But like, it was just, he wasn't on board. Like his son was finally back in his life. He loved his jobs and his parent. Like,
I get all that. I'm just over here thinking the money
totally
part,
get it,
right? It's like, okay, well, if you care that much, like if me and Travi pads, if we were getting to our end of our days.
Right.
I'm still secretly wanting to like move to Italy because it's easy. It's better to live in other countries.
Right.
Like but if he told me no and I was so gung ho, I'd be like, well, let's see if this long distance shit can work out. I already bought the villa.
Well, because Dan was happy with the simple lifestyle. He liked his routine and his chickens and his bees, and he just wanted to just live a simple lifestyle. And she wanted more than that. Money was also tight. Now they had a lot, and they also had a lot of credit card debt. Now this is going to blow your lid, because I know how you're very fiscally responsible. So they were $6,000 behind on their mortgage payment, but Nancy continued to pay over $16,000 in life insurance premiums for Dan's policies. They were behind on their mortgage, but homegirl kept up with the life insurance. She handled all the money. Dan had no clue.
Did Dan know? That's also, I love you, Dan, never to speak ill of the dead. And anyone that's listening, if you let your spouse take care of all the money and you do not log in, check, scroll, make sure there's money in the bank.
Right.
I hate to tell you this.
Right.
It's your fault too.
Right. And they also revealed at trial during the autopsy, he was first shot in the back, and it had actually gone, this is so sad. It had gone through his spinal cord and probably paralyzed him. So the second it went through, he can't run away. They couldn't determine.
Perfect. Hopefully he didn't feel anything.
Like but he
knocked
still
enough
had to
nerve
watch
endings.
his wife kill him,
Yeah, but hopefully how long was that?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. She was a
only
little
there for like
heavier.
10
It would have
minutes.
taken her a second to make 5 steps over to him.
And she's a bad person, so we can talk about this.
It had to have been shocking.
The video of her, like just if I just mentally picture her, like, because she was a little rotund, so like her trying
waddling
to go through. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, obviously, it would be so fucking sad to see that you're being murdered by the person.
That's
what I.
That's my thought.
That is devastating. But I'm more concerned probably about the pain.
Right. Yeah. So, they never, like I said earlier, they never found the slide and barrel from eBay, but that was the one that was used in the murders, because the bullets in Dan didn't match their gun or the one from the ghost kit. So the only way that it was that one.
That was really smart.
Yeah.
Or if she would have just she could have just used the ghost kit and then threw it away.
Not put it in her scarf box.
Right.
And then write GK
next to
on the
her
outside.
love fucking letters to her husband that she murdered.
Right. That was another thing they found in the house that I heard this morning, that she was having some kind of surgery that she had to go under anesthesia for in 2015 on like her eyes or something. And she wrote this real long love letter to Dan, and then also put where all their financial papers were and stuff. But that was out on the bed that day when the cops came over. But anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's like, look how much
2 years later.
Yeah. Three? Even, yeah. Okay. So, and who's writing a farewell thing? Like, anyway.
I mean, if I thought I was going to die, you might as well, right?
Right. But I wouldn't leave it on the fucking bed. So then during the trial, they also determined that Dan and Nancy slept in separate bedrooms, but she wouldn't admit to that. Now, at this point, Nancy was saying, no, I was in bed all morning. And they were like, bro, we saw your van by the school. We know you weren't in bed all morning. And then she took the stand on the 20th day. So they had 20 days of trial before this. And she was up there for 2 whole days because she wouldn't shut the fuck up. And like I said, I got through 1/4 of her testimony. And it was painful as fuck. If I was in that jury, I'd be like, fast forward her. Like, because she just talks in fucking circles. Now, on the stand, she said that she had told Dan's mom, Karen, on the phone at 10:44 a.m. that she knew it was Dan that was shot because he wasn't outside and no one would make eye contact with her, which is not what she said before. Also, she said that she remembered talking to Dan before he left, but, quote, doesn't remember what she did between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. She just doesn't remember.
On the day that your husband died.
Right. She doesn't remember. She had shock amnesia or something is what she started saying. So she'd originally said that she was at home in bed, but when they were like, dude, we have you on camera. And she's like, oh. So she said she was driving around all day or driving around for at least an hour, like she always did when researching her next book. She would just pull over and write notes, and she would write the whole story in her head before she put it on paper and wrote it out.
So she had to come up with that lie because she didn't realize that she was on camera yet. Like she had to figure that out on stand.
Yeah. Well, they had told her, like, when they first recorded her interview prior to that. Yeah. And so they were like, well, you told us this at first. And then she's like, oh, well, yeah, I was driving around. Fucking liar. And then, so like I said, Dan had went to Starbucks every morning, but he didn't that day because it was a testing day at OCI for his students and he had to get there earlier or whatever. First of all, you're $6,000 behind your mortgage payment.
That's why I literally said, I hope that they're financially, didn't I say that?
Yeah,
I hope they're financially responsible because Starbucks is like the number one way to throw away money. Mm-hmm. And the only people that buy it regularly are the ones that can't afford it.
And yeah, it's every morning he walked their dog and went and got it for her. Which, like, make her a cup of coffee if you want to be sweet. You don't got to buy it.
He probably thinks they had money.
I mean,
once more, his own lack of gumption to look. But I'm sure he thought he could afford buying her a coffee every day.
And she had actually taken I heard after I wrote all this that she had. First of all, they got that loan from his parents. The parents didn't make them pay half of it back or more. They were like, don't worry about it. Then she sold her car for money. And then they gave them their vehicles that they had. They both came from his parents. They were helping him out. And then they had borrowed $30,000 from Dan's 401k. And I don't know if he knew that or not. I just
He had to have. There's no way.
I didn't think, yeah.
Yeah, Dan had to have been the one to do that.
So
then he knew.
Again, I mean, who knows?
He knows. He knew.
Yeah,
he knows.
But I meant like the motive behind
if you had to
why
borrow,
you would think that was okay to do.
The only way you borrow against it is, you're right. I don't know why he was doing that.
Like
a love language. I don't know. He was literally like kind of killing her because she didn't need the 350 calories to start her day in sugar. I don't need 350 calories a day in sugar to start my fucking day. So
right. Well, she's got to get inspired about those pretty men. Okay, so she drove around for an hour and wrote notes the morning only after they asked about her leaving the house on camera. On cross-examination, prosecution basically obliterated her. Like,
good.
Not even, it was like, yeah. They were like, okay, so why did you need another slide and barrel for the gun if you were just doing research? Like, that was just, I was just doing research for my book.
Right.
Why do you need another one? And then also, why did you label GK and then not tell the cops about it? And then she said, well, I wrote that on there so they could find it. And they're like, well, you didn't tell them about it and you told us about this other gun. She said, well, I have my crime degree from TV. So I knew they would want it, but they never asked. She basically was like, everything I learned from crime was from watching crime on TV.
I know, but
yeah.
I mean, she is right. They didn't ask to know if she had another gun.
Right. But if she's
I bet they would have definitely asked that.
Yeah.
Like that, they do that when they pull you over. Do you have any weapons on you?
Right.
Like the first thing they do is ask if you have a gun.
Right. So, yeah. And then, so she already had that and then bought the third without explanation, that slide and barrel. She talked in circles and circles, and it took 30 minutes to explain just this one thing. Like 30, it was like 27 minutes. And I watched part of it and I had to turn it off because I'm like, I
ain't got patience for this shit.
No, not at all. And then normally the prosecutors, well, sometimes, not normally, they'll be like, yes or no answers, please, only.
Yes.
Because she won't fucking shut up, but they wanted to catch her like they did in the Murdochs trial. They wanted to catch her up because she kept changing her shit. So she said, quote, she removed the sliding barrel from the closet but on the stand, but during interviews before her arrest, she said that Dan wanted the gun and she never touched it, never handled it or anything. So she's telling him, no, I took the sliding barrel out of the closet. Like, that's where she said it was gone. They don't know where it is. She's like, well, I took it out of the closet. They're like, we thought you never touched the gun. So, and then they're like, where is it? They're like, well, where is it? She's like, I don't know. And then they said, you don't know? And she says, quote, I find nothing about this case ironic or funny. They're like, we asked you a fucking question. What are you talking about? And she also didn't show any emotion until she got up there. So they were on track. The trial was like 20 days long, no emotion. She gets up there and they're like, well, why are you upset right now if you haven't shown emotion this whole time? And she's basically like, okay, I've seen on TV, and if I'm too emotional, you're going to think that I'm too emotional and I'm faking it. And if I'm not emotional enough, she said, so I just didn't have any reaction. Which, I mean, at least she's not really, she's not wrong. She's not wrong in that, but it's just weird. She's like, I'm screwed either way. Is what
I mean, dude, you're
and it was televised.
You're at a trial for murder.
Yeah.
That you committed. So yeah, you are fucked either way, as you should be, dumb hoe. Right. Fuck. Now, what happened to the slide and barrel?
She's like, I don't know, but this case isn't ironic or funny.
And she took it out, and then I don't touch it. I had nothing to do with it. You bought it. Well, I was only doing the research for a book. Got it. So then why'd you buy the guns? Well, my husband wanted them. I didn't touch them. Okay, so where is this part? I took it out. Well, where is it? I don't know.
Yep.
Okay.
This is yes.
Okay.
Now, okay, so then they ask her about her, quote, lost memory, and she's like, hey, I don't know. I don't know. I know I didn't kill Dan or go to the school that day. She's like, well, how do you know that? She said apparently her memories were, quote, pieced together as evidence became known to her, and she was sticking to the, quote, I remember everything but those 3 hours. So she's like, she says she kind of pieced together her memory and was regurgitating that, and she doesn't know what's real and what's not at this point. But she doesn't remember 7 to 10. So,
or where she put the sliding barrel.
Right. She kept fucking up, like she kept talking and fucking up, and she would contradict herself so many times, and it was basically worthless. So after hours of closing arguments, like they said that they almost thought that they went in circles too much to where they could have lost the jury because they went through all the hoops and stuff. But they did, and they deliberated for 8 hours. And on May 25th, 2022, Nancy was found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with parole eligibility after 25 years.
And she was 71.
Mm-hmm.
Glorious.
She's still serving her sentence to this day, from what I could tell, at Coffee Creek Correctional Facility in Oregon, and she will be 90.
Coffee Creek?
Yeah.
That sounds like a nice place.
Yeah. Well, apparently she loves coffee.
Uh-huh.
So, she will be 97 years old in June of 2047 when she can apply for parole.
97.
Yeah. Now, during the prosecution...
Watch her live until 97.
Right.
She seems like a bitch that would live until 97. Yeah. And like if she got on... it's fine. You're going to croak within like a few weeks anyway. No one likes you anymore. Fucking frail fuck. I don't know. I really hope that every other 97-year-old is thriving. Except for her.
Except for murderers, right?
Yes.
Okay. During the prosecution's last question to Nancy when she was on the stand, they asked her, quote, if there's one thing you know about murder, it's that anyone is capable of doing it. Is that correct? Because that was almost an exact quote. From How to Murder Your Husband. Now, this is, there were no signs of abuse. They never once had any. This was basically about greed, and she wanted more out of life financially and to do what she wanted without Dan getting in the way. Because she would be more financially set if Dan was gone. If they got a divorce.
I mean, if we play that game, I'm like, I'd be more financially secure if my house burned down right now and I had a good insurance claim on it. Like,
right. Yeah.
You know, like, that is you spent 30 years, I believe, if she was in 97, 07, 17, 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years married to a man that you loved, you also helped roll your guys' financials into a big pile of dookie boot.
Yeah.
And then you kill him because you wanted to live somewhere else?
Yeah, she wanted to live a life that she wanted to do and he was just low key and like.
But that's what I'm saying. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, besides you having to figure out your own finances, or if you guys did get divorced and you would have sold the house, you'd still get the money from the house. That was at a time where I'm sure houses were still actual investments.
I think they
And
had
that you'd
$250,000 equity in their home. So
Yeah.
she would have gotten half of that.
So you could have divorced him and got half and paid off some debts.
Yeah.
And you could have gone and lived in Portugal where it's like way cheaper and you could have thrived.
Yeah.
There was no reason to kill this sweet baby angel Dan who actually cared enough. Do you know how much fucking effort it would take to go to Starbucks every morning and then drive home and drop off that drink and then go to work?
Oh, he walked there with the dog. Not even
there we go.
Yeah.
But so that's
and feed the chickens. And he left for work at 7 and he got up at 4:30 every single day. And
Like-
you laid around in your bed and sold life insurance and wrote, quote unquote. But Dan's son Nathaniel, Dan was actually cremated, and he scattered his ashes where they would get the remembrance they deserved, I think he said, at his favorite mushroom hunting his favorite truffle spot. So that's where he laid to rest. And that is the story of Dan Brophy.
all the truffles that grow there have a little bit of Dan?
That's what I thought.
That's what I would think too.
Yeah. I also learned a lot about truffles randomly. Like,
Why do you not know a lot about truffles?
Well, the largest
it's your favorite
one
oil.
the largest one found in the world was 2-point-something pounds. I don't remember.
That would have been $1 jillion.
And it sold at auction. It's in the Guinness Book, and it sold for like $330,000. I don't know what year.
Motherfucking mushroom.
Yeah.
Amazing. I just found new mushrooms at the Nature Center today.
Did you?
I was like, what are you? They
Did
were
they
oyster.
answer?
Yeah. I had to look them up on Google Lens as I try to now be able to. I only know morels or morels, whatever you want to call them. But I've in the maple joint
That's
at
what
home.
we call them.
We always called them morels.
Yeah.
And then Travis is like, oh, we got to get some morels. I was like, I fucking have morels. And he's like, the mushroom. I was like, dude, that's not.
Oh, I was just
That's
laughing
not right.
I was laughing at you saying you had morals.
I know.
No.
Oh, I have very strong ones.
You do.
I have I have very strong moral compass.
You're a strong woman.
with a
Anyway,
pretty man.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Dan. That was
That's
sad.
sad.
I know. I want to show Jess. Put his picture right here again because I like the picture.
Jess is like, if you could fucking send them to me before I go to edit them.
I did.
I know, and I did not.
I know, but like the picture, doesn't it make sense now? He had his little rooster and his chef outfit. Like
yeah, I
the
wish she had
photo.
some fucking truffle shrooms up in there too.
I know.
We're gonna start foraging for that. Get ready.
Foraging.
That's literally foraging.
I am. I decided I don't get to use that word very often.
I was like, we got to do that.
Yeah.
I've been bumping into a lot of mushroom foragers, and I'm like, that's something I want to get behind.
Bumping into him.
Yeah, on hikes.
Oh.
When I'm in the woods,
Oh.
because it's essentially the same shit, different location.
Yep.
Like if we wanted those oyster ones, I can tell you where to get them. All right. Well, thanks for that.
Merry Christmas.
I really appreciate.
I had
Fuck
to
you.
get it
I really appreciate a murderer doing a really bad job. I mean, she succeeded, unfortunately, but
She
I always
gave it
love when
her,
they get caught
her
easily.
best, or late 60s, early 70s try. It's just
on
you
the
don't
brink
hear-
of dementia.
And you
I
don't,
feel like, on
you
that
don't
one.
hear about that very often.
Like much older women killing people,
Yes.
or just much older people killing people.
Right. Like, no, go retire. Why you no.
She can't. They can't afford to.
All right.
This one always it kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of it all. Like we have to remember too, when 2020 hit, the highest rate of people who were committing suicide was anyone over the age of 60 because they lost their retirement.
Right.
So a huge influx of suicide happened because of that. So like I can see the insanity turn, the desperation, the I need to get out of this situation. I'm a psychopath, so the only thought is to kill.
Right.
But
It was so bizarre that she wrote that article and all the headlines. They were calling her murder, she wrote, and all this stuff because she wrote that. But that was
do not
7
come at Angela like that.
I know. Right. I mean, that was 7 years before So
Yeah.
like,
No, I'm just saying.
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Like, I was shocked when COVID happened that's the increase and that's
Right.
what happened then.
Right.
So I know that correlation was very weak, but in the sense that, like, when you get to retirement age, and they were in retirement age,
Mm-hmm.
and these things are happening, the level of desperation does
Right.
hop up.
That is valid.
And so that's kind of my reference to it,
Yeah,
though. We were definitely jumping through a bridge with a lot of missing planks, but that's fine. That's fine. Don't forget, like, rate, review, subscribe,
Yeah.
all that jazz.
Do that.
Follow us on the socials.
Follow us on all of it. Request us for your cameo. We can do a quick Christmas present for somebody. Let's do a holiday gift for somebody.
Yeah.
Why, we would be a stocking
We are
stuffer.
literally fucking
We're gonna stuff them stockings.
gifts.
We are gifts and a treat.
Yes. Don't forget, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
We love you.
We love you. Bye. Merry Christmas.
God.
That song's been in my head the whole time.
This episode was sponsored, edited, and produced by Wonderboy Media. Get the deets at wboymedia.com to see how you can make your podcast dreams a reality.
Help us out and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to our audio project. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at, of course, A Couple of Sassholes.
Want more sass? Become a member of our Patreon for bonus content, merch, and more. Plus, we're on Cameo now, so there's even more ways to get the sass you need just how you like it. As always, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Theodore, can I bet that